You can no longer look past them. You can no longer count them out. They are 3-time Super Bowl champions, and they have the greatest tight end to ever play the game. And not only league MVP, but 2-time Super Bowl MVP quarterback. That's right. We are the Indiana Chiefs fans, and our favorite team is and always will be the Kansas City Chiefs. Jeez. With me again for season 2, we got 3-time podcasting favorite Chico Noise, and coming into his second season as a podcaster, it is the Chief, Phil Gunner. Gentlemen, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back to you.
Welcome back to home there, big dog. Yeah, it's good to see you.
It's weird, man. That's all I gotta say. I've been at the campground for about 3 months straight. Have not been in my home city at my house. My friend cut my lawn finally after 3 months.
Really?
Wow.
It was literally knee high in the backyard. So it was really nice that he did that yesterday, considering I had to come home tonight and I would have had to deal with that mess.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun.
No, but I tell you what, at our yogi out there, there's many Mahomes fans coming, a lot of Chiefs fans, our golf cart, being driven around by us or others. People, when they come back, they're like, everyone's yelling at us. I'm like, why? They're saying go Chiefs, and they're saying Mahomes, and I'm kind of getting the gist of, like when I was a kid, you got these 10 to 12-year-old kids that are, all into Mahomes, which to me is just the start of a new fan base. I think it's great.
I love the fact that we got more and more Chiefs fans out there. It reminds me a lot of what New England went through when, when Brady came along and they started winning, and then everybody was a New England fan. But, for so long being a Chiefs fan and having to deal with losing seasons, and, you finally make the playoffs and you lose in the wild card, or, hey, guess what? We got a first round bye, man. We got a team that's going to take us. And then you lose to the fucking Colts again.
And Broncos, by the way, happened to them too, or when we played them.
Every time, man. It's like it was a rough 30 years. So it's nice to have a winning team, and I never didn't wear my stuff proudly. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I was always a proud Chiefs fan, but man, those were some rough years for a while.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'd have to say, and I could say it was pretty confidently, I was the first person to have a Chiefs flag in that park.
I could say you're pretty confident in that.
And I know of at least 4 flags that are flying in the park now. And obviously there's a lot more fans than that, but, speaks volumes, to the current generation and what I think the younger generation. I'm getting more kids running up and yelling Patrick Mahomes or Kelsey, and go Chiefs. So I like it. It's kind of cool. So that's some of the shenanigans out there at Yogi. For those that are wondering, I would have to say it's a pretty large park, somewhere around 1,200 lots. So, multiply that by just 2 people, and that's 2,400 people. So, but that's on the conservative side on a good weekend. So,
yeah. That's not a holiday weekend, that's for sure.
Oh, holiday shit. You might as well do 8 or 10 times.
Oh, yeah. On holiday weekends, I just stay on my own lot and don't go anywhere. I just stay put. It's too crazy. It's too crazy.
I know. Little homebody.
I am. I'm a homebody. I like to sit on my deck and watch golf carts go by, wave at people.
Well, you know me. I'm a people person, and we're up till 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yes, I know. Thank God they don't knock on the door at like 1 a.m.
I've thought about it when I've been a little toasty.
I'm sure.
We go on a GCR golf cart ride.
Are we abbreviating golf cart ride now?
Yeah, man. Come on.
GCR. All right.
It just sounds so much cooler.
GCR.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't forget the cooler.
And by the way, I'm going to give credit where credit's due.
Uh-huh.
That's Mr. David and Danielle that introduced me to that acronym.
Right on.
So I like to use it now, and they were using it the other weekend, so that's why it's fresh in my head again. You'll be happy to know they are going to 2 or maybe 3 games this year.
Right on. Which one's they heading to this year? Have they decided?
They want to go to the preseason game, and they want to bring Michaela and Mackenzie.
Okay.
Mackenzie's 3.5, I think, give or take, and she's always saying "my homies." So they want to take her to a game, and every time the game's on, she gets excited. Sees the red color. Just like Valerie.
I was gonna say just like you.
Well, me too. Yeah. Oh, not for a preseason game, but but Valerie were toying with doing that as well. Going down with Dave and Danielle with the little kids and let them have their first Chiefs game.
Oh, right on.
But yeah, GCR, David.
There you go. And of course, they're doing the New Year's Eve game, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
And they're talking about the Chicago game, but not sure yet.
Right on.
So we'll figure it out. But yeah, they're going to 3 games and hope to get my dad to 1 game, sometime down the road. And my boss's boss to 1 game because he ratted me out last year because I told him let's go to a game and I never set it up.
Yeah. Yep.
So he said he's not going to root for any team, and he's not a huge football fan, but the first person to take him to a game is going to be his team or something like that.
How about you, Chico? What are you doing this year?
Oh, well, I'm taking Coach Rob to the Bears.
Coach Rob, what's up, dog?
And then I think you and I are gonna hit up the Bills again. So.
Oh yeah. We're gonna get that win against them damn Bills in Arrowhead this year during regular season.
In December.
In December.
So call me what you want. That's still gonna be one of the games I'm gonna mark.
Yeah.
Just history, man.
Well, we're going to do opening weekend against the Lions. I can't wait to watch them raise that Super Bowl flag.
Booyah.
You kind of missed out on it last round. The COVID shit happened.
Yep.
So I get to take it in with you for the first time. You never got to see them raise a flag. So I'm super excited for that.
Well, I'm sure I saw it, but I was probably 6 months old.
Yeah, that doesn't count. And then we're going to do the Monday night Philadelphia game. I'm super excited about getting out to that one. I think that's going to be the game of the season right there. The rematch, the Super Bowl rematch. I think it's going to be pretty good. He's shaking his head. You don't think that's going to be a good one?
No, I think the Chiefs are going to dominate them. I'm just playing honest. I think the game, once again, is going to be the Bengals. I think that's the game of the year in the AFC.
Well,
or not AFC for us as a whole team.
Right. Well,
but it'll be highly touted. Don't get me wrong. The Philly game. I mean, how often do you get a rematch the next year? And I know it happens, randomly, but it doesn't happen all the time where, the 2 Super Bowl contenders play the next season.
And then on a Monday night, I mean, it's gonna be good shit.
So riddle me this, Batman.
Okay.
So I look at the price of tickets, that we pay, and they vary per game, right? Each game's a different price.
Yes, it is.
How in the hell is the Bears game costing more than the Philly game on a Monday night? I do not get it at all. I mean, it baffles me, the pricing on some of these games as season ticket holders. You look at that and you're like, holy crap, that's going to be, $400 a seat, for example. And then you log in, it's $150. I'm like, what are these people thinking? I mean, shit. And the Bears game isn't even on a prime time schedule, I don't think. I don't get it.
1:00 Sunday.
So, and don't quote me exactly, but I think this is the first time I've seen, and Jeremy, I think I told you the number, so correct me if I'm wrong. The Chiefs play 1 noon game the entire season at home.
No, I think you are correct. Everything is either a 3:30 or a Sunday night or a Monday night, or what they have just the one Thursday night. I do believe that first game is just the only Thursday. But
so I don't know if that's ever happened. I was looking at the schedule and I'm like, Karen's going to be one happy woman because
she don't have to get up early to get to the stadium,
except for the Chicago game. I think is the only noon game. That's interesting to me. When I looked at the schedule, I was like, I don't know if this has ever happened. But then again, we haven't had a team like this in
and that's
a very long time. So
that's exactly it. I mean, when you have a winning team, they put those in those spots where you can get the TV rights and those games being aired. And which brings me up to our next question, to follow in line with that is, I've had it for many years, and Chief, so have you, the NFL Sunday Ticket on DirecTV.
Sure.
This being the first season that DirecTV is not going to have it. They're still calling it the Sunday Ticket, but it's on YouTube TV. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Chico, what are we going to do?
Not watch football, I guess.
So my theory on YouTube TV is I'm not going to buy it right now, or at least I say that right now. I paid for the ticket on DirecTV, and I watched every single game either live or on TV. So I paid the entire fee last year and watched one game on DirecTV.
Well, my thing is that, if Kansas City was playing on a Monday night or a Sunday night or even the late game, I would flip on, the eight channel board and sit there and just watch eight different football games. And I might miss that a little bit this year for those weekends when I'm not in Kansas City or, the game's not on TV or whatever. Might be a little more difficult. So,
well, YouTube might offer something, or the red zone, they might still get those rights potentially, but obviously to air the game, they're done. I canceled my service actually.
No, altogether.
Yeah, I'm saving $160 a month. I just stream everything now.
Right.
And when I canceled my service, they asked why, and I told them, well, you don't got a ticket anymore, so I'm not going to pay for this shit. So,
yeah, I need to sit down and discuss that with the rocker chick and decide if we really need to keep ours even now. I mean, it's not like, everything is on stream, if you can't, if you, some of the shows that we watch is on Paramount Plus or
exactly,
or anything like that. They're playing on the next day. You can go back and watch them. We watch a lot of Discovery Plus too. Thank you, Logan, by the way. We watch a ton of that. So
that's what I figured out. And you know what? Once I cut the cord, and I haven't missed out on anything. I got all I got 2 subscriptions for free through my phone carrier.
Right.
So Paramount Plus and Disney for free. So I'm like, well, there's 2 down. I got Netflix. So, which, speaking of Netflix, if you have not watched,
fuck Netflix. Let me just start off by saying fuck Netflix.
Yeah, I'm not happy with their screen bullshit because I keep on having to add my TV back, which I don't understand. But anyway,
I pay for this service. I should be able to watch it in any fucking house that I'm in.
Yep.
This pisses me off, and
I haven't tried the traveling one where it says I'm traveling. I haven't tried that yet, but I think
Chico, have you tried that yet?
I have not. I'm too afraid I'm going to screw up your stuff if I do it.
So no,
just try it. Yeah, they fuck them. I'll cancel their ass. I don't give a shit.
I'm pretty sure I'm on the premium plan because I pay $20 whatever, and that gives me, I think, 4 screens. I think
the 6 screens on the $20.
Yeah, but dude, I'm only using it on 5 devices, and it keeps asking me to authenticate myself again, and it's pissing me off. But regardless of how Netflix is screwing people and messing their lives up, the quarterback series.
Do you see how he segued right into that shit right there? It may be fucking you over, but let me this.
They got
fucking quarterbacks.
They got some good programming right now, man. I thoroughly enjoyed that series. Kirk Cousins, Patrick Mahomes, and Atlanta quarterback Mariota.
Yes.
I really enjoyed
Mariota.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the way the format of the show was, how they went into their private lives, their public lives, the training camps, the games, the pregame, the postgame, everything they did in there, I enjoyed. And I'm a Chiefs fan, obviously. So by the way, little cheater, the last 1.5 episodes are all Chiefs because they're the ones that made it through the playoffs. Anyway.
Oh, nice.
Little cheater there. So the last 1.5 episodes is pure Chiefs.
I'm 3 deep into it right now. But I have been watching it. Chico, have you been watching it?
Not.
So I'm not going to go into details, but it's well worth. I don't care if you're not a fan of any of the 3 teams. It's interesting to watch what they have to go through every year as a quarterback to be successful and also be a successful family man.
Oh, 100%. But let me ask you a couple questions, and we won't get into super detail, but as far as like what shows what's going on, but let me start off by saying episode 3, King of Pain, that was a tough fucking episode to watch. And if I was Kirk Cousins, I would have
quit.
Yeah, I would be extremely pissed because that poor guy was getting pounded every fucking play.
Yeah.
Come on. Where's his O-line? What, the mistakes that were being made was the fact that he was being rushed and Buck, did they break his ribs? I don't know, but he was pretty.
He was hurt.
Oh my God.
He had a lot of home therapy, we'll say.
Yeah.
And I will add that, I think that was the Raiders episode for Week of Pain, potentially, if I'm thinking right, with their defensive end that was getting them Mahomes and taking little cheap shots is all I'm going to say. I'm here all day, baby. I'm here all day.
Gunner, you definitely should check out the traveling thing and see if that works and watch it because it is definitely worth it. Like I said, we haven't been able to finish it. We've just been so freaking busy with everything going on and haven't had time to sit down. We had to make time to go to watch just those 3 episodes, but definitely enjoyed them. Yeah, I do have a couple comments. Marcus Mariota seems to be the most awkward person in the world. He just, I mean, he should be the team leader. He doesn't seem extremely vocal and it's like, dude, come on, you are team leader. You need to lead this team. Get out there, be louder, be more aggressive. And I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback.
Be aggressive.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback because he's a good quarterback. Yeah. He's definitely very smart, but it just he doesn't seem to have that. He doesn't seem to have that aggression and that leadership and that mentality of a leader. And I thought that was interesting. And all 3 quarterbacks are completely different quarterbacks. You would think that you'd almost get like a duplicate. And it's like, oh well, this Mahomes does this, Cousins does this, and Mariota does this, and it's like, oh, they're all the same, but their attitudes and the way they train and the way they do things is completely different, and it gives you 3 different aspects of a quarterback in the NFL.
So I will add one last comment because I don't want to give anything away to our 80 subscribers or 97, somewhere around there. Is if you want to just relive the Super Bowl in 6 episodes or 8, I can't remember. This is a show to watch without having to watch every single game. Because they show 2 games, I think, or 3 per episode, the highlights and the live audio, which I really get a crack up out of with Mahomes, especially. Mahomes is very vocal.
He is quite the foul-mouthed individual. I didn't realize that.
Like, holy crap. Yeah. And because I told my mother-in-law to watch it, and afterwards I was like, oh man, she doesn't like cursing. But Mahomes is very vocal.
Very much so.
Let you see it for yourself. But if you want to relive the Super Bowl year, I think it's, especially when you get to the last 1.5 episodes, because they focus on the Chiefs at that point. I thought it was a nice road trip through the wins, the losses, the pains, the injuries. It was. I relived last year in 8 hours or 7 hours, whatever it is. So it was cool. I liked it. Gunner,
nice.
A must watch.
Yeah, I know. I've heard a lot of friends have told me I need to watch it.
Yeah, I was on your dad I was like, you gotta start watching this before the podcast start, otherwise, I'm gonna
Yeah.
nuke you. But I'm glad you got through 3 episodes. It's
Yeah.
it takes
And-
some.
And we'll
time.
get through it. We'll get through the rest of it. It's just it's just time, and we're running an empire here, so it does take that takes the precedence over getting to sit down. And as a matter of fact, I can't tell you like the last time that I sat down and just binge something or watched a movie, or it just is still few and far in between because I'm usually in here working and building this empire.
Golden J Mojo Entertainment presents the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast, Season 2, Episode 1.
That's right.
I'm done.
That is correct.
Which, Gunner, I don't know if you want to mention anything about what we did in the park. It was kind of fun as a group. He looks like totally pictures.
Oh yeah, they're all up on the website.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't
He
know.
thinks
people
park.
went out-
He's thinking about Yogi's.
I know
He's
you said
looking
park,
about
I'm thinking
Jellystone. Like,
Yogi.
Yeah, where I wound up at some CVS instead of the park because my GPS is a pile of shit.
yeah, walk us
Close
through.
enough.
Walk us through our photo shoot, Gun.
That was pretty
Oh.
cool.
Yeah, what was that? That's been over a month ago now, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, we did we got our website up and running, goldenmojoent.com. You can go check that out. And when you do, there's a little drop down menu where you can click on all of us and all of the podcasts, and each of us has a picture on there. Well, I don't know if each of us, but we have group photos on every podcast. And yeah, we did them at Center Park in Warsaw, and
Yeah,
we took ours by the fountain.
sorry, the cat's out from hiding again.
No.
She's very mad at me for being gone for 3 months, and she's showing it in her aggression. But now she wants love.
now she wants love. But Sarah did all the pictures for us. She did an
Yeah.
amazing job.
Great job.
If you go to goldenmojoent.com, the group photo pops up. I am so proud of that photo. Everybody showed up. The one that didn't make it, Alicia, did not make it because she had prior commitments, but I needed to get those done. So,
Just Photoshop her.
yeah, we could have, but we'll end up getting some pictures of the Murdnerds together for their website. Right now, it's just a picture of me and Ashley up there, but I was so happy that everybody took time out of their busy Sundays to come down and do the photo shoot, and it was good for everybody to meet everybody. I thought that was really cool. I mean, you guys got to meet Brandon, and I'm that was the first time you met Ashley. I think no, she was out here she was out here. Where am I? She was at Yogi for the Camp Murdnerds, but
Jason Bourne.
Jason Voorhees did it. Jason Voorhees did it.
That was too funny.
But yeah, it was just good for everybody to get to kind of hang out with each other, and I was so happy that everybody was there, and we got some good photos, and Sarah did an amazing job taking them and editing them, and Skylar did an amazing job getting it up on the website and getting those rotating pictures, and it's just super fucking cool. I'm loving it. I'm loving that website. So and people have been talking about it. I've had people come up and who have looked at it and said, man, the website looks really good. So, and then Gunner shared it today. Was that today you did that? Or was that yesterday?
Yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. He did a Facebook post with it on there, and I see it got several shares, and it's just too fucking cool, man. I'm loving it. And so go check it out. goldenmojoent.com. Not only do our pictures and a little write up about each podcast is on there, but there's a merch store also where you can get your Indiana Chiefs fan t-shirt or pint glass. I mean, come on, man. And there's more stuff coming. You cannot get those. Those are a special handout.
Okay, I just figured I'd show what the people.
Those are our coasters that we got.
Hey,
so
for $100 a piece, contact me.
Oh, wow, they're autographed. That's why they're $100.
Yeah, signed by
signed by Phil himself.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Like I said, I'm gonna go check it out. And I'm just happy you paid full price too. So.
Of course I did.
So another interesting thing that I'm doing, since we're talking about off season, is I'm auctioning off to benefit the Boys and Girls Club the preseason game at Arrowhead. We have club seats too with a gold parking pass, and I am also anyone that gets in this raffle, I will be adding them to the Raiders game ticket raffle that I'm giving those away as well. So you can put as many entries you want into the preseason game, but you only get one for the regular season game, regardless how many times you enter. And I did post it on the Indiana Chiefs fan page, I think a while back. I'll put it back out there again. Again, anyone can participate. Anyone can get in and, donate money for a good cause. And if you get the preseason game, great. You still get an entry into the Christmas Day game in club level seating where it's warm. And a gold parking pass, all included. So I'm
Nice.
excited. Hopefully that raise a little bit of money for the Boys and Girls Club.
Nice. Now, you gave yours to the Boys and Girls Club to raffle off. I actually gave our preseason tickets to, a friend of the show, Trevor. He had some friends that their son is a huge Mahomes fan, and so we just donated our tickets to them. They're going to go out to their first route at Arrowhead, and I'm super excited for them. So,
are they from Indiana also?
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry, the cat's like hitting.
Is the cat messing with your camera? What's up with that?
Yeah, he's hitting the back of the computer now. She's all being friendly.
Well, damn! Now I want to it's a fucking earthquake.
Well, that's cool. So they're gonna drive from Indiana down.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Gonna go to the game, get their first trip into Arrowhead, and she was like, she sent me a couple texts and was super excited. So I'm happy.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I love it. So yeah, we did it last year. We actually gave them to Trevor, and him and his grandfather went down for his first trek into Arrowhead, and he told me the other day that they went ahead and got their tickets for Green Bay. They're going to Green Bay to see the Chiefs play. So
I've been thinking about that game. You know me, I told you I want to visit every stadium, and Green Bay is one of the ones on my list.
It's a top one.
Because it's one of the older stadiums. It's kind of like Arrowhead, very nostalgic. So I'm debating going there as well.
Right on. I'm not going to make the trek this year. I'm gonna just do my Kansas City trips. I got 3 of them, planned. So, man, I'm busy.
A closer drive.
Yeah, but I'm just busy. That's the problem.
Get on busy. It's the Chiefs.
I'm going to Arrowhead.
People.
Arrowhead. Anyway, speaking
Black people that called it something else got their ass beaten, went home crying about the refs and everything else. But anyway, that's a whole another story.
So speaking of Arrowhead, there was a brief news article, was it this week, where they talked about the 3 options for Arrowhead, a reno or a possible move or new stadium there on property. So I like the renovation idea. I like the reno the original Arrowhead, and I don't know about a new stadium. I don't know if it'll how that would be, but I'm sure it would be great. I'm sure they're gonna fucking do it up right. But everything right now still revolves on what the Royals are gonna do, and he is just having a hell of a time. Phil's having technical difficulties. Oh, please, God, you gotta fix that. Listen, can you hear me? No. Oh shit, he left the fucking podcast. So did you listen to did you hear any of that news about the Renault and all that stuff? Did you read any of those articles?
No, I didn't actually. I know they've been talking about it for a while, so I'm curious. Maybe I'll go back and read some of those articles. But
I'd say there was just one that I saw. So I mean, it was interesting. I mean, they don't know what they're doing. Everything teeters on what the Royals are going to do, because if the Royals go to build their new stadium downtown, that's going to open up a section for them to, possibly build a new one. And I do you suppose he's got shit plugged in backwards, or did you
No,
shut it off, or
Zoom took a shit.
no?
yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, that's why I said I literally hear white noise and just a little bit of your voice, Jeremy. And
All I know is you've got to go back and re-listen to this podcast when it comes out on
Yeah, I'm
Thursday.
not taking that out. That was hilarious.
Put it all
All
in
right.
there.
all right, that's fair. Hey, because I was like, oh, let me run up and get my Beats headphones, as these are taking a dump on me. And I'm like, nah, with any Windows application, restart it, and it usually works.
Yeah, a reboot is always a good sign. But
That's why Linux is so much better. You don't have to reboot it; it just freaking works.
damn IT guys.
Oh,
So Chico,
sorry.
what have you heard about Chris Jones?
I don't know. We signed it. Has he signed anything yet? Or is he not doing anything? I haven't heard anything.
Hey.
Are we at a stalemate with him? Is that what the problem is? He wants big money and we don't want to cough up big money. Is that kind of where we're at with that? I mean, that's just bluntly putting it.
He's in the last year of his contract, right? As I understand it, or I can't remember. All I know is what Andy Reid said. We're playing with the players that are in training camp. Fuck them. I like to have them on the team, but man, teamwork is one thing, money's another.
Well, the dude's making like 20 mil a season anyway.
I know. That's why I said, you know what? Don't get me wrong. I love the guy. I want him on a team. I want him playing. But man, when you're making millions and you're a crybaby, I don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, even, you don't see, Mahomes, he's what, the 7th or 8th highest paid quarterback right now.
Yeah, remember when he was the highest paid quarterback like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
But you know what? He's restructured his contract, I think, twice. He's doing similar to what Brady did. He's getting those bonuses, as often whenever they can do it. I think there's a limit possibly on how many years in a row you can do it. But man, he's a player friendly person. Chris Jones, you're making millions. For the love of gosh, I mean, I don't get it. I mean, I understand it's a business, right? But I can't go to my boss and say, hey, I'm making, $10 a day. I want 40,
Yeah.
He's going to go tell me, good luck with that. But
yeah, there's the curb.
Yeah, I know football's a whole different industry. I understand it. And I understand that players want to get paid, but, I think the Chiefs have treated you right. And you treated us right, so we'll see what happens. I'm going with what Andy Reid said. We're playing with the players on the field. And don't let it be a distraction, in my opinion.
Well, I'd like for it not to be a distraction, but it seems to be every fucking where I look is that's all I see is this whole Chris Jones tweeted this and then of course the Anthony Hopkins deal we somehow couldn't secure that. I'm not sure, and that's fine. It's a money thing. He's going to go and he's going to make money, but he's not going to do anything. I think that I would personally, if I had a choice, I think I'd have taken the pay cut and went and played for a Super Bowl caliber team. And I'm not saying come to the Chiefs, but there are other Super Bowl caliber teams there. I mean, he could have been a Bill, he could have been a Bengal, any of those, those teams he could have went and played for. Where did he end up at? I even forget now. Oh man, now I forget.
I just went blank on it. But
yeah.
You know what? We're not the only team with this problem. Every team has their, folks that are sitting out, preseason for the same reasons. Happens every year. It just, from a fan perspective, I don't like it.
No, it sucks. Chico?
Tennessee?
Thank you. That sounds exactly right. 100%. What is your take on the whole Chris Jones thing?
I mean, like Phil said, he's done a lot for us, and he's been a great player since he's been there. And wouldn't, I don't want to see money drive him away, but I feel like that's probably what's going to happen. Somebody else will take him for the price he wants, and
well,
yeah.
Hopefully they cough up something good. In my line of work or your line of work, anyone's line of work, you think you're not replaceable. I know he's a great defensive guy. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, because some people are going to hate on me. But in the grand scheme of things, if he gets hurt week 1, for example, someone's got to step up.
mm-hmm.
I mean, injuries are a part of the game too. So you get to think with that mentality. And I think that's what Coach Reed thinks. Like, he's like, okay, he's not here. Maybe he's not going to be here. Maybe we're going to trade him. Maybe we're going to get, first round pick, or I don't know, wide receiver 2, or who knows, what Veach is thinking, in Veach we trust, and that's all I'm going to say.
Well, and that's 100% in Veach we do trust, because the guy knows what he's doing. And it does make a lot of sense, because if he would make the big payday and then turn around and get hurt week 1, then we're back to where we started without him, and we don't have that money to replace him with somebody else up, in some depth or whatever. But now you've got, I mean, we brought in several different players from other teams, which we're going to get deep into in the next few episodes. But that is a prime example of what Veach does. He looks at the depth, and he knows that if you pay him and he doesn't play, then he still gets paid. And
I think the only way to pay him is ask someone else to take a pay cut, because last I looked at over the cap, we only had like $1 million or $1.5 million left, based on over the cap. So either they got to cut someone, they got to restructure someone. Maybe that's the holdup. I don't know, but we don't have, $10 million just sitting there. Obviously they can pay him in a bonus. A signing bonus, obviously, unless they've already exceeded, if there is a rule on signing bonuses, somewhere I think there is, how many years you can do it in a row.
Right on.
But, I mean, or they just don't want to do it, But
well, I mean, only those guys know what they're thinking in that whole thing. So
I'm just glad he's not representing himself like some other quarterback that we know who had his mom. His mom calls the owner. Yes, this is Lamar's mom. I'd like to talk to you about my son's contract.
You want to talk about a team that just shot themselves in the foot?
I mean, don't get me wrong. He wanted to save the money, obviously, but having an agent not only works on your behalf, but gives you some sanity checks, right?
Right.
I mean, Dallas let what's their running back's name again?
Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah. They let him go to free market because they're like, look, man, no one's going to pay the money you want.
Right.
Now Chris Jones, different scenario, most likely, they didn't let him go to the free market because they know that someone would offer him the money. But, in reality, we can only do what we can do as a team and a franchise based on the amount of money that we have available. Right. And you got to have some money or you could be cutting someone mid-season, if someone comes available that they want. Right. So it's all a money game and money ball, basically.
Yep. Yeah. It's all about how you checks and balances, I guess,
Yeah. And by the way, the McCaskies finally spent money. I couldn't believe it. Sorry, for those of you who don't know, that's the Bears.
The Bears. Well, maybe I don't know. Let's talk about you said something about wide receivers there a minute ago. Let's take a quick gander at our let's just call him our wide receiver 2, because apparently we don't have a wide receiver 1, but a lot of promise in
I told you she's like jacking with everything here because I haven't been home in 3 months, so she like microphones shaking this way, and I'm like,
pay
"Jeez."
attention to me. Just pay attention to me.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys.
Kavarius Tony out again with surgery this week to clean up that knee again.
Yep.
Let me ask you guys, Chico, I want you to start this off for me. How do you feel about that? Is this going to be a continuing problem? I mean, what's your thought? What is your thought process on that?
Say, how long was he out last season? Pretty much.
It
was a big chunk.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like every game, but it was like several.
Probably gonna be reoccurring, I'm sure. And I don't know, maybe after this one he'll get healthy and be fine. But I would think you're a football player, you want to play football, so make yourself better, be healthier, make sure you're not getting hurt, all that good stuff. But
well, he's not making a big contract, correct? I mean, he's not a big played player, but yeah, a big, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Paid player,
yeah. He's not making a giant he doesn't have a giant contract.
Oh, but
is he still in the rookie contract?
Yeah. But he got paid last year, I'm sure, through making to the Super Bowl. That's a lot of money they give out.
Right. But that's not my point. That's not what I meant. I mean, I know that he wants to play and he has that desire to be on the team and on the field and do what he can do. I mean, my point is that he keeps injuring this knee over and over and over again, which is why the Giants kind of let him go to begin with, I believe.
Yeah.
And then he comes to Kansas City, has a couple of really good games, and then boom, he's out again. And he comes back for a few games and he's out again. And I'm just asking, is this a reoccurring thing? Is this something we should worry about?
So I think there's always a worry about, injury prone players, but my gut is telling me that once he got to practice, it started moving around. Either, the medical staff, training staff, someone noticed a hitch in his get up, let's say.
He had a hitch in his giddy up.
Yep. And my gut was like, hey, let's get this taken care of now and not during the season. I'm sure whatever he had cleaned up, he probably could have made it through 3 or 4 weeks. I'm just guessing, hypothesizing,
right.
Until it got to the point where he had to go in and miss, 3 or 4 weeks. So that's just my hypothesis, is that, they noticed something in Tony that they're like, you know what, let's just take you out of training camp now. Let's let you go back in and see this doctor, not the one in Cleveland. The homeless guy.
Not the one in Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Come in my cardboard box and I'll
cut you open. I mean, that's what I think. I mean, because I think he would have been back under the knife already before even training camp opened.
Right.
Everyone goes through physicals, they go through drills, and they watch that kind of stuff. So hopefully it's not injury prone, but I mean, we had another player that was injury prone, and he moved on. He helped us. He helped us win a Super Bowl. I mean, this guy helped us win a Super Bowl last year. So maybe he's on 4 weeks on, 4 weeks off kind of player, but I don't know.
I like Tony as a wide receiver. I think he's pretty great. But
dude, his smile is amazing. Yeah. I mean, when he's smiling, I just want to smile.
Aw. So we know what jersey that Phil needs to get next. I'm excited for. Andy said he hopes he'll be back for the opening weekend and that opening game on Thursday night. And I'm excited to see Sky Moore come in for his second season. He's got a year under his belt as a wide receiver. I know you're all got your panties in a bunch over him returning kicks, but as a wide receiver, I'm excited for him to come back and as season 2 and really want to see him succeed this year. So I think he's got some potential.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I forgave him for all that when he had that huge kickoff return in the Super Bowl. I think that was him, wasn't it, Sky Moore? Right.
He had one punt return. I think it was pretty good, right?
Yeah, it was like 60 yards or something late in the game.
Yeah.
Or was that Tony? Am I thinking about Tony?
It might. I don't know, man. That's
who set the record for the NFL. It was the longest punt return in Super Bowl history.
Really? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's Google it. Continue.
But anyway, I think our wide receiving core, I think we're decent. Mahomes makes up for any other misgivings on routes and being creative. We got Kelsey. He's basically wide receiver one. Come on, let's be honest.
Well, yeah.
And then the supporting cast, So I think we're going to be fine at the wide receiver core. I mean, last year they said we wouldn't do anything, without the name that I'm not going to talk about anymore because I don't want to.
What do you call that guy, Gunner?
Miami.
So,
No.
and you know what?
He who shall not be named.
He who shall not be named. That's right.
And it wouldn't surprise me if Chris Jones, we traded him somewhere, and we hear that the rest of the fucking season. They're not going to be anywhere because Chris Jones. I mean, I hope that doesn't happen, but it's
a possibility. Oh, by the way, it was Kadarius Toney, 65 yards, February 12th, 2023.
Oh yeah,
65 yards. So it wasn't Sky, but
he did
have a couple of them. Yeah.
Yeah, he did good in the Super Bowl. So, but yeah, I knew there was a record set.
I think it was one of the touchdowns that you forgave him for. It was some because he scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And so did Pacheco. So these two rookies actually scored touchdowns in the Super Bowl their rookie year.
It's crazy.
If you don't repeat, boys, you're fucking you got to go back and do it at least one more time, because if that's your rookie season, good Lord, the rest of your career is shot.
Yeah. But I have high hopes. The running back crew is looking pretty good. I obviously Pacheco had surgery in the off season. He fixed his wrist and something else. I can't remember what it was.
It was a knee or something, wasn't it? I mean, was he having trouble with his knee or his ankle?
Yeah,
one of the two.
But you know what? He played through, I think, 2 playoff games in the Super Bowl with his broken or cracked wrist or something. So the man's a machine. But who were we talking about? Prince, and what was the other guy?
Rice, the wide receiver Rice, the rookie that they drafted. There's a lot of good things coming out of training camp with those two guys, that we might have a 1-2 punch in the running back room there that we have not had in since Priest Holmes, Larry Johnson, maybe.
And we still have we didn't get rid of
Jerick McKinnon, man. We still have Jerick McKinnon.
Don't get me started, man.
Do we still have Clyde Allaire? Yeah. Is Allaire still there?
Yeah. But don't get me started. Don't let him run the ball. Play action, baby. That's where his bread and butter is.
It's true. It's true.
You play action them, touchdown. Touchdown, Kansas. Oh, sorry. Yeah,
it's true.
That's my pet peeve.
Hey, we all know it. Everybody who listens to the Indian Chiefs fans know it.
So
the Arrowhead Stadium knows it. I mean,
probably
from across the stadium, I could see you pulling your hair out with.
It really gets my goat. But one thing we have not touched on at all: Eric the Enemy.
Oh, well, I mean, anybody who knows us knows that we pretty much kind of called that at some point, did we not?
Yeah.
It might have been early on, but we talked about, Matt Nagy coming back from Chicago back into Kansas City as a quarterback's coach, and the fact that we kind of knew that he was just kind of sitting back waiting to take over that offensive coordinator job. But you know what? Eric Bieniemy, man, I've been impressed with him for a long time, and I wish him nothing but the best of luck. What do you want, Cleveland? Where did he end up going?
I hope he didn't. I don't remember.
Washington.
But
sounds right.
Somewhere.
By all means, he's an assistant head coach, offensive coordinator, and this is where he's going to make his name.
Yeah.
Everybody, from my understanding, why he didn't get a position earlier was Andy calls all the plays, and he evaluates perform. I don't know what the
Right.
hell he was
Well, I
doing.
mean,
But now we're gonna see. Now that Matt Nagy's there, we're gonna see if there's any difference in the plays. I don't think there really is going to be, because I think Andy Reid's really the playmaster.
yeah.
And I just wanted to throw it out there that that is a missing component from last year. But I don't think we're gonna have any love lost, right? On the offensive side of the ball.
Oh, absolutely not. I think, like I said, I've been impressed with him for a lot of years. I think it's one of those things that when I seen him at what do they call it, the combine, and he was out running the combine and a lot of different things from what I was watching that particular year. I was like, holy shit, he's really knowledgeable and yeah, and then I see I knew he was in Kansas City and he starts working his way up
Yeah.
and you hope that he gets an opportunity because he deserves it. He's worked his way up. He's
Yep.
From a player to offensive line head coach and
Yep.
and all that. So you got to feel for the guy when he went for all those damn interviews the last few years and just kind of got stonewalled and this opportunity comes up and I think Andy Reid said this is something you should take so you can get out of that shadow and
100%. All the best of luck, man. Hope you
Yeah.
get a head coaching position in a few years. By all, you've done nothing but good things for KC, so just holla.
right on.
Yeah,
Anything else we need to touch on?
just don't pet the cat because she wants to attack my arm now. I'm trying to keep her away from me because she keeps taking swipes. She wants to play now that she's got over her anger issues.
No, it's time.
Yeah.
I do want to touch on one thing that's not Chiefs related, and that is Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets. I just was curious what your guys' thoughts on that was real quick.
Day and the Jets aren't going anywhere. That's my gut feeling.
Well, hopefully Green Bay does something that
I don't know, man. Jordan
keeps people
Love
coming.
just I don't feel the love last year. Yeah, I don't know. But to be honest with you, I think Aaron's taking his last payday. He's going to play smart but safe. So we'll see.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. If you're going to take a payday and you just kind of want to, coast the rest of your career out, the Jets is not really the place that I would think that you'd want to go because they don't really have an offensive line, do they? I mean,
that's why I said, man, it's a payday. I could be proven wrong. I mean, just like the Chiefs proved, the whole NFL wrong last year. Who knows?
Well, let's face it. Let's face it. He's only going to
better.
He's only going to be in with the Jets for 1 year, and then he's going to sign with Minnesota.
Kirk Cousins is there, and I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon.
Oh, but you know why I'm joking about that, right?
Because of Brett Favre.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, there you go.
I knew what you were going
Okay.
with it, but I know the Jets were decent last year. I think adding Aaron Rodgers, I don't know, was the right move, man. Versus spending money elsewhere, offensive line, receiving core, defense. I don't know where. I don't follow the Jets that much, so
I don't either. I know that they're like Cleveland. They keep kind of dumping money into it, and nothing really ever really happens up there. So, what do you think of Aaron Rodgers going there?
Maybe he'll go. Maybe it'll be there a year. Who knows?
He's gonna be in Minnesota, man. Cousins is gonna hang it up. He's gonna be like, you know what? My fucking ribs hurt. I'm done.
Rodgers will play a season. He'll retire.
You think?
Yeah, he'll be done.
He's not gonna pull a Tom Brady and play till he's 45.
I think he does 2 seasons. Regardless, I don't know if it'll be for the same team, but he'll do two seasons to get that last paydays in.
What was his contract in New York? Was it just a single season?
No, 3-year, I think.
Okay.
Because they had to buy out his contract, which I think was in the 20-ish million range, 25 million range, something like that with the Packers. So I think they gave up way too much, in my opinion. But how when we got Montana back in the day, he was kind of at the end of the road, and he did good things for Kansas City. But I don't know. Aaron Rodgers is getting too far out there, in my opinion. Just
Ticket
go to
sales.
your ticket sales. Go to your hut, sweat and do mushrooms or whatever the hell happens in these encampments. I think he's getting too far out there, and I'm glad to see. I'll say one thing: I'm glad to see he's at training camp this year, because he screwed the Packers last year by skipping training camp, in my opinion. That continuity with new receivers, new players, running backs, offensive line, whatever. I don't think that was a smart move at all.
Well, I think you're going to start seeing a lot more of what Patrick Mahomes has actually done with his wide receivers, whereas he calls them up and says, "Hey, come back down to my alma mater here in Texas, and let's do some workouts." And I mean, he worked out with even wide receivers that didn't even get drafted to Kansas City.
Yeah, or wide receivers that are on other teams.
Yeah. So I mean, that's weird, but
because the CBA doesn't allow it, right? But if you do it as players, that's on you.
Right. Yeah, you can't. You can't do it as a team,
right?
But you can do it just as, hey, we're having a get together. I got the barbecue out. We're gonna throw a few balls around.
Yeah, I mean that helps build chemistry, and that's why I said last year I felt bad for the Packers, to be honest, because Aaron just said, "I'm not going to training camp."
Right.
I'm at this other sweat camp or something.
I'm getting my pores cleaned out.
What's this big man bun?
Yeah, the man bun. This man bun.
I want Jeremy. I want Gunner to grow a man bun.
My wife will let me. I've tried.
I'm so happy that Sarah has sense.
Hey, she's the most sensible one of all of us, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's enough Chiefs talk for this evening, boys. Actually, it's never enough Chiefs talk for any time, but yeah, let's round this out. Let's get out of here. Any last topic here before we take off?
Let's see. My homework is to actually do more homework on the Chiefs prior to the next episode.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's a damn good idea. Our next episode is going to be the draft. We're going to talk about our draft picks, and actually, you probably got to dive into a couple of the guys that we picked up that was not drafted. We picked up a couple outside of the draft, so we'll talk about them too. But yeah, we want to dive into this year's draft picks in our next episode. Looking forward to that. Of course, we all watched the draft, right?
I did.
I
guess that leaves one person out.
If you're watching on YouTube, he's giving the old wink, wink. Yep, I sure did. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
My favorite time of the year.
I love the draft, man. I can watch the draft every other weekend. I could just go. It'd be so much fun.
Yeah, so I was watching the draft.
I'll go paint a wall.
I was watching the draft, and obviously we had the last pick in the first round. Karen comes out like 2.5 hours later after watching 2 movies. She's like, "This is still on?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Did the Chiefs pick yet?" I'm like, "Nope." And she just turned right back around and went back to the room.
Baby, we got 2 more days of this right here. Come on, you know better.
So.
Anyway, I am super excited to talk about their final pick number in the 7th round. I am fired up to talk about him. He is still in training camp. He hasn't been cut yet. So the future is looking bright for him. A couple things to talk about him, but I was super excited with their final pick. Oh, I think I even called Chico to tell him about it. So like, you ain't going to believe who they picked. So super excited about that. So yeah, that's
I wonder why.
I don't know, but maybe I'll wear my jersey.
Suspenseful music is playing in the background.
All right, so that's next week's episode. Looking forward to it. We're happy to be back. Season 2, episode 1. Chiefs fans no longer on hiatus, boys and girls. back for the season. Footballs are right around the corner. All right. I guess the last thing I had to say is Chico, you got my socials?
Pre-recorded.
Pre-recorded?
Yep.
Look at him go. All right.
That's not the way we end the show anyway.
That's true.
That's true. Let's end it the fun way.
Well, all right. Well, let's get out of here. But I have one question for you. Are you ready? One question. How about those Chiefs? Later.
Thank you for listening to the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Podbean, any of your favorite podcast sites. Be sure to watch us on YouTube. Just search for the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast. Also, check us out on Facebook for any updates on the Chiefs and all of our weekly posts. You can find us at facebook.com/INChiefsFansPod. Finally, go check out our Golden Mojo Entertainment website at goldenmojoent.com. You can find information about your 3 favorite hosts and all the other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment family. Those podcasts include The Call Guys, Golden Image Podcast, The United States of Paranormal, The Golden 80s Podcast, The Murdnerds, and A Court of Books and Booze. Thank you for tuning in, and how about those Chiefs?